Welcome to Spoken Reviews, home of the Spoken Reviews. Today, guys, we have some breaking information about the battery capacity for the 4680 Model Y. Alright guys, so when we first got the Model Y on the app, one thing that we noticed within the first couple of days is that the app actually had listed the Model Y as a 50D Model Y. I'll put the screenshot up here, which is really interesting because at first there was some confusion about, hey, why is this being called a 50D? Does this mean that the battery size is 50 kilowatt hours? Which really didn't make sense, and for a little bit we're like, if it is 50 kilowatt hours, that's pretty phenomenal. But after some testing of the vehicle's capacity, we realized that the usable battery capacity is more like 67 kilowatt hours. Well, today I actually had a comment on one of the earlier videos where someone asked me to, hey, go look in the app and see if it's changed from 50D just to dual motor. And sure enough, it has changed. Just over the last month of ownership, Tesla's actually gone in the programming software and they've actually changed it from 50D just to dual motor, which is really interesting because now on the app for someone with a standard range 4680 Model Y or a 2170 long range Model Y, the apps look exactly the same. And not only do the apps look exactly the same, the actual badging on the back looks exactly the same. So it just says dual motor. You cannot distinguish a standard range 4680 Model Y from a long range 2170 Model Y. And whenever you look at the software of the vehicle on the screen, it just says Model Y. It doesn't say anything about standard range, short range, or anything like that. It just says standard range. In addition to that, there's also been some new articles out there, and I'll put some screenshots of those articles basically saying, hey, the new Tesla Model Y with 500 range battery may already be here. So there's a lot of evidence and speculation, some rumors from some of the actual Tesla employees that took delivery, and maybe they're privy to, some software unlocks that the rest of us aren't privy to. But it's very interesting because, again, Tesla's been very close-lipped about the true usable capacity about this. And I think it's been very tactical, again, because they don't want to cannibalize sales from themselves. All right, so let's start looking at all the evidence and see kind of what we have. So once again, over the course of the last month, they've changed the software from going from saying 50D to just Model Y on the software, so that's interesting. Two, there's more and more evidence that's coming out and testing of the 4680 Model Y that's saying the usable capacity is a lot bigger than what they've said. Again, I can basically tell you that it's basically 67 kilowatt hours from what I've used for usable battery pack, but I do think there's a lot more untapped battery in there too. And one thing that we can kind of compare it to is the actual long-range Model Y and what that one is usable battery is with the evidence. So that one, the usable battery is actually 74 kilowatt hours, which has been confirmed. But there's also a reserve too, because whenever you get down to zero, there's still some room for capacity, and it's rumored that there's probably another like 3 to 4 kilowatt hours that's in reserve for the long range. So yeah, I mean, the evidence, it's adding up, and it's becoming more and more compelling that, hey, what they've done has been very, tactical and strategic with the 4680 Model Y. Again, what they don't want, worst case scenario, would be for a bunch of people to go in there and start canceling their orders for long-range Model Ys and say, nope, I don't want to take delivery. I only want an Austin-built standard range Model Y, right? Like, that's the absolute worst case scenario. Tesla's doing everything they can do to avoid that. And in order to do that, they have to kind of, keep it a secret of what's the real capacity. Another thing that's happening in Tesla news is Sandy Munro Live, which is a huge YouTube channel. They do a lot of great work. They've been actually taking apart a standard range 4680 Model Y, and they've gotten down to the battery pack, and they're getting to the point where they're actually disassembling the battery pack, and they're going to count the actual modules, so we're going to get the actual true capacity. And I think that this is probably making people at Tesla a little nervous, just because the whole world is watching this, right? So I believe that once Sandy Munro Live does the full disassembly and they actually count the 4680 modules in there, and they do the math and with the capacity, they're going to realize that, hey, this battery is actually, and again, I'm making an assumption, but I think this is probably truly like an 80 kilowatt hour battery based off of what I've seen on different forums and Reddit and evidence like that. But again, they're doing everything they can do to basically talk down this Model Y. Another thing that's also interesting is that they've actually raised the price. So I basically paid $69.90 for this standard range Model Y, but now they've actually increased the price to, I believe it's like 62 or 63. So basically, there's only like a $2,000 or $3,000 difference between this standard range 4680 Model Y and the long range Model Y from Fremont. So again, that's super weird that the advertise, what they're advertising is basically a 10% difference in battery size for only like another $2,000 or $3,000. So that's super kind of weird and suspicious. When it was like a $5,000 difference, it kind of made a little more sense that, okay, $5,000, 10% less battery. But now that I think that more evidence is coming out, and that the demand for this 4680 is increasing, that they're like, hey, let's go ahead and increase the price. So again, I think within the next couple of days, or really by the end of this week, once Sandy Munro Live's videos out there, and they can really give us the true capacity and how many modules are in this vehicle, the cat's gonna be out the bag. So I don't know what that's gonna mean. My advice for people is get whatever Model Y is available. If I had been offered a 2170 long range Model Y, I would have taken it. The only reason why I got the standard range Model Y is because they offered it to me. So my advice would be, even if they do come out and they let you know that, hey, this battery capacity is way bigger than they're advertising, and I had a delivery coming up of a 2170 Fremont, I would still take my 2170 Fremont for now. Then you could always trade it out later on in the future. Anyways, guys, that's just my thoughts. Just wanted to kind of share again that evidence, pretty compelling evidence, very interesting. Shout out to the comment section on the videos, because I really do appreciate all the comments. They really, help me, think differently, but also the interactive community, right, where people can look at other people's comments and get ideas and the back and forth. It's a great forum, the comment section. So really do appreciate all the comments that are left on the videos. Well, guys, if you have any questions or comments, leave those below. If you want to see more videos like this, sub to the channel. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. Thanks a lot and have a great day.